here with Years of Years, and it's this week in Disney for September 5th to September 11th.
There we go.
Yeah.
Well into the month.
Yeah, well, starting off September well.
Yeah. Countdown to a resort stay and birthday on the way, but great week at Disney this week.
Definitely. We had a lot of fun this week.
For sure.
And, well, we went to Disney, of course. We got to go to enjoy some Magic Kingdom, a little date night for Brad and I, which was great.
Awesome.
But actually, we went to not a Disney park.
Really?
Yeah, well, me.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, we went to
That's
SeaWorld.
So true.
For the first time.
We got SeaWorld, Busch Gardens.
Yes, our daughter, Kimora, has gone to SeaWorld like multiple times, but we hadn't been yet or, gotten passes, and we decided to go ahead and do that, and that was really, really cool. It was a cool experience.
Did you venture into Sesame Street?
We did go into the Sesame Street area. We just didn't get to spend a lot of time there. It was just kind of a predicament with the weather, and we were trying to get on rides. Kimora was trying to show us all the things, and so we kind of ran through there. So when we go with you,
that was my only request, that they come home like well skilled in telling me how to get to Sesame Street.
Yeah, we know how to get there.
Very good. Very good. Yeah, but,
it was fun.
In the Magic Kingdom last night, it was awesome. I mean, we came in. There was storms in the air. We had umbrellas, of course.
This time of year.
But we
got it all storming.
Yeah, as we were coming down the monorail, the clouds were parting.
Yep, they dispersed.
It
was getting like brighter and brighter as we got closer to Magic Kingdom. So that was really, to me, a magical moment.
Yeah. We took some pictures, and I was mistaken. I kind of got a little melancholy. I felt like we were taking some of our last pictures of the 50th, and there was gray skies and stuff like that. I'm like, we're in the final month of the 50th, but Tiffany was sharing with me that she believes they're extending it
through 2023.
There you go. So 50th going to be with us and well worthy of being commemorated.
They gotta change. They have to change the castle and so many things. You gotta keep that up for everyone to enjoy it and make sure they get their vacation in and get their pictures. But I'm sure there is a countdown, so we're gonna have to pay attention to that date because that
Yeah, and with the Magic Band Plus being so tied to those statues, we kind of need them to stay around so we got something to do with them.
Amazing. I wonder what they're gonna do with those statues afterward. Do you think they'll sell them or like the bigger ones? Like you can get the statues that they have for the 50th. You can get small versions of those. I think they're around 100.
It would be nice if they got a permanent home in Hollywood, like Hollywood Studios.
Ooh.
That'd be nice.
There you go, giving Disney tips again.
There you go. Like walking down to Phantasmic, have them along the side, commemorating.
And that is coming back soon.
Yes, that announcement came out.
They already have them practicing. So that's exciting. We can't wait for that.
Oh my gosh, that's gonna be everything.
It's so crazy because last night we didn't watch the fireworks because we were at the park and. And while we were walking around, I didn't say anything but to you. But I was thinking how for so long we didn't have fireworks and how I felt a little guilty that we weren't watching them.
Right.
But at the same time...
She's not saying anything to me. She's trying not to trigger my pandemic.
Well, last night... and this time of year is just a little difficult because they delay the fireworks for a good 10 minutes, maybe a little bit longer. So it wasn't one of the best nights to watch them. Just with the weather, in fact, I was there with my mom and they canceled the fireworks for it because there was lightning just everywhere in the sky. Yes. So that was a crazy night.
But I did get a slushie, and she got a citrus swirl.
Not citrus, the Dole Whip.
The Dole Whip, sorry.
Yeah.
Instead of walking out with the crowds, we kind of just ventured back in and got a slushie.
Actually, it was so crowded. We turned around and went and got a Dole Whip.
Yeah, we were
we were like, we could stand here or we could just go do something really quick and then come back. And I got the Dole Whip float, and that's with pineapple juice. And honestly, that pineapple juice is really, really good.
So
I
much
haven't had it
so
before.
that you like want to go up and ask for
a cup of pineapple juice.
The pineapple juice. Like
Can I
we're gonna
just
do a
have
little
it?
experiment and see if that's possible.
It's probably the same stuff they sell in the store.
Of course it is. It's Dole pineapple juice. Like probably like
when you're at Disney.
A little bit better than the can, but unless you like the can.
And everything, and it's crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like crowds were
awesome.
Crowds were real. And so like I was, I saw in the like media and Instagram,
real,
like they were
to like
no, there was a lot of people.
Crowds.
You're right. No, there was a lot of people. I could see that they had dimension.
I felt there was less crowds than usual. Honestly.
Okay, but the hype that I saw last week about the parks being empty, I felt like maybe there was a Labor Day delay and people were just waiting for Labor Day.
Oh, okay.
It seemed like things were pretty
I don't know, but last night, I mean, even, I don't know, I think it still was kind of, low. We were walking on rides.
Okay.
So,
well,
right?
Yeah, I don't want to be ungrateful.
Oh,
I just want park health.
Okay.
Long histories of, futures. But you tell us about
this time of year, everybody gets back to school, and the focus isn't going to theme parks.
Right. No, that's all I'm saying. I'm trying to say that I think that everything's good.
Getting back to normal.
Like, don't believe the doom and gloom hype at all.
Okay.
Even in the tiniest little. All magic. We want futures. So, but you're just telling us about Disney's past.
Yeah, we're going to talk about Disney's past, some interesting stuff this week.
Mm-hmm.
So starting off with September 5th, 1933, Eddie Carroll is born in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada.
No fool.
Yeah, he gave it away. So he is the actual, technically second voice, because Clarence Nash filled in for just a little bit there at the beginning.
Okay.
But yeah, Eddie Carroll was really like Jiminy Cricket for many, many, many years as well.
Right.
Yeah.
And brings a tender, yes, he really brings a lot to the voice. The voice is a shared voice, if not his.
Actually, yeah. I mean, I think there's a total of 5 or 6.
Mm-hmm.
There was a couple of, with the games and things like that, just different voices going on with Jiminy Cricket. So, yes, so Jiminy Cricket, or Eddie Carroll, it says he was born actually in, I had 2 different locations that I found, because it also says Smoky Lake, Alberta, Canada.
Okay.
So, that sounds cooler.
Yeah.
But yes, he was born in 1933, and he actually, was working in Canada at the beginning of his career, but then he studied at the Orion Theater with fellow student Burt Gillett.
Oh.
Yeah, so they were very close friends. So that makes, I think he was very, very classically trained and talented. And, he ended up serving in the war. He was with the Armed Forces Radio Services back then in World War II. But then, of course, he came to the U.S. and started writing for all sorts of different shows. Lots of things that we don't know so well.
Yeah, talking about Jiminy Cricket and his contribution there, I really do. It's all in the voice. Yeah. And his contributions really kind of bring a little bit of the crackle away from the voice, and just really bring in I don't know, just a wonderful gentleness to it. So
yeah,
it's an important voice. I mean, it is the voice that we respond to over all of our fireworks shows in the Magic Kingdom. That voice brings such hope and trust.
Yeah, and magic, right? Yeah, definitely. So, going back, he was a writer and a producer before he really got into the voice acting or acting. But he co-wrote the song "How Is Julie," which was recorded by the Lettermen.
There we go.
And then he was business partner with.
thought of the Letterman for like at least 15, 16 years.
Wow.
I love that.
Thank you go. Jamie Farr developed and syndicated sports talk program called Man to Man for MGM Television. And then after that, for the Saturday morning, he did an animated series called The Amazing Chan and the Chan Clan.
Wow.
Do any of you guys remember that?
No.
I looked it up. That's not one of the ones we watched.
I've never heard of it.
I didn't know it, and now I want to check it out.
Oh, interesting.
The Amazing Chan and the Chan Clan. Yep, Hanna-Barbera.
There you go. So it was probably like right around the Johnny Quest time.
Yeah.
I bet it's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in 1971, he was the one who took over for Jiminy Cricket after Cliff Edwards died. Now, we've talked about Cliff Edwards before, and, you know, I mean,
wow.
I don't know. I kind of have, like, a lot of special feelings for him. And I really, like, to me, Cliff Edwards is the type of person or type of story that shows how Disney takes care of people.
Right.
And they really, I mean, his life didn't go so well, and Disney took care of him even after his death.
Yes, even moving his grave for a more dignified burial.
Yeah.
That degree of care.
Yeah, so, I mean, you can go check out other of our videos where we talked about Cliff Edwards. So then we've talked about that Jiminy Cricket, but this Jiminy Cricket came in and obviously had been super well trained, had lived a totally different life, and interesting, he was from Canada. And I always think that people, they have an accent, they have like the French influence a little bit in their dialect
and demeanor.
Yeah, so I wonder how that plays in, because I mean, to me, Brad says he can tell the different. I feel like Jiminy pretty much sounds the same across the board. But
no, I mean that is important. You know, I'm just talking about the subtleties.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Totally. And like I had mentioned, Clarence Nash voiced Jiminy for a little bit, but Carroll actually portrayed comedian Jack Benny twice in A Small Eternity with Jack Benny and Jack Benny Laughter in Bloom from 1995 to 1996. So he toured with a production of The Odd Couple. Remember when they had that
before it was a television show?
No,
much
after.
Beloved. It
in the
was
90s.
At Broadway. Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
In the 90s. They did the Broadway after that show.
No, the show was based on Broadway.
Was it?
Yes.
Well, when was The Odd Couple?
The television show was after, so it must have been a reprise of the production.
Oh, okay.
So in 1985.
I didn't realize that. Okay.
I believe so.
And then,
I could be mistaken.
He was really into old time radio and all that. Obviously the dates all line up for that too. So really, really cool.
Yeah,
really
so
cool
great.
life. And it's cool to think about Jiminy Cricket. And I think like the people who, played his character and his role and what that means.
I have the Matchbox porcelain, like the large Matchbox porcelain of Jiminy on my desk.
Oh, cool.
It sits right there.
So all of them are Cliff Edwards, Clarence Nash, Eddie Carroll, Hal Smith, Phil Snyder, Joe Oakman is the current, but then also they have Raphael Sbarge, and then obviously the live action remake was Joseph Gordon-Levitt. So going through this, it's making me think of Doctor Who and Regenerations.
I love James Bond.
Yeah, exactly.
I like the James Bond. Let's give Jiminy Bond.
Yeah, really cool.
Name? I'm no fool, sir. What is your name?
No,
Bond,
I love it.
Jiminy Bond.
Yeah, but the term Jiminy Cricket came before.
Oh, of course.
Pinocchio. It was in the first time they used it for Disney was in Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Yeah, when instead of using the phrase Jesus Christ,
it's
like people would use the phrase a minced oath.
Yeah.
They would use the phrase Jiminy Cricket instead of saying Jesus Christ.
And obviously in the Wizard of Oz, Dorothy Gale says it. She says Jiminy, right? Did she say it like that? Or did she say Jiminy Cricket?
She says Jiminy Cricket.
Yeah. So well used before. I mean, at least those two times it was used, because Snow White was 37, and then Oz was 39.
So well in the psyche, you know.
Yeah.
So for everybody, for us, it's like a name. For them, it was a phrase, and like there you go.
Right. That
But
they
love
were
it to us.
using
In some ways, look at that. I mean, Disney ended up owning a phrase as IP. You know, it's amazing.
That is interesting.
Amazing.
Honestly.
Quite a feat.
Very honest. Very interesting, actually, is what I'm saying. Okay, let's move on to September 6th, 1972. Another birthday. Tony Award-winning actress Anika Noni Rose is born in Bloomfield, Connecticut. And she is super special, super talented, and she's the voice of Tiana for The Princess and the Frog.
A girl.
Yeah, I love learning about her, honestly, and her career.
Way.
Yeah, really special.
Way. No, that soundtrack, I like. Only Hercules do I like. Maybe no, I think it's my favorite soundtrack. I'm lying. I love all of them, but you know what I'm saying. It's a good soundtrack.
Yeah, well, okay, so her starting off, she got a bachelor's degree at not Texas. I keep wanting to say Texas, but it's Florida's A&M University. I mean, I'm from Texas, so I'm used to that, A&M, but she went to Florida's A&M. And then after that, she studied at the American Conservatory Theater in San Francisco. And what do you do after you get all that incredible training?
Yeah.
She went to New York City without a job.
I mean, that's what they tell you. You have to arrive without a job, I think, in order to really do the New York training.
That's how it works. But anyway, after 3 months, I don't think that happens for everybody. She ended up on Broadway.
Of great talent.
Absolutely. On Broadway's Footloose.
There you go. There you go.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
She's won lots of awards. The big one that she got a Tony Award was for Emmy Thibodeau. I hope I said it right.
It sounded pretty nice.
Caroline or Change.
Okay.
So that was like the really big. She got a Tony Award for Best Featured Actress in a Musical.
There you go.
And that was before. That was in 2004. Before.
And for those of you who don't know, the Tonys are like the Oscars. I mean, 100%.
Big award.
Yes, the highest in theater and musical and
Yeah. So, and then she was in a Broadway revival later for A Raisin in the Sun. She got a nomination again for a Tony Award.
Wow.
Yes. But she's also been in films, and I think a lot of people love this movie, Dreamgirls, right? With Beyonce and Jennifer Hudson and Jamie Foxx and Eddie Murphy. So she was in that as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So that was like that's like one of her big live action.
What a career. And I love that, one would have to think that such, a life went into consideration in selecting her as well as her voice.
And if you go look at pictures of her, I'd highly suggest you guys go check her out, because if you haven't seen her, what she looks like, because I think they even animated Tiana
inspired by her.
Face. She's just very beautiful.
Yes.
So she was known for, obviously, her role as Tiana. So this was like the first time that they had, obviously, an African-American princess. But I thought it was so cool that she mentioned as well that it was the first time, there was a bigger scope than that. It was the first time that Disney had an American princess.
Oh, I love that. They were all European.
Yeah.
And Asian. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're so right.
So anyway, I thought that was interesting.
That was quite.
That she said that.
What an insight.
Yeah. Really cool.
Yeah.
So she was nominated or named as a Disney legend in 2011.
Like right away.
Right away. And she said, "I always dreamed of being a voice in a Disney movie, but even in those dreams, I never once dreamed of being a princess. I feel like what an honor that this is, and how the dream comes true, bigger and stronger than I had ever imagined it."
Awesome.
Yeah.
I went to Tiana's restaurant.
I can't help it. Like, as we're talking, I'm thinking about, I think Pocahontas is considered a princess now. I think at the time when she said this, though, Because wouldn't Pocahontas be the first American Disney princess? But at the time, she was quoted as saying this. I don't think that they were really recognizing
that yet.
her as a Disney princess.
Wow.
Like Tiana
Yes.
was a princess. Like she wore,
yes,
you know, the princess.
It's hard to even
garb.
remember. But thankfully,
so anyway,
we don't have to still acknowledge that. It's been taken care of. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I love how they've done,
Yes.
you know, that.
I remember a lot of the inductions of the princesses, and I think Myrta kind of brought it too. Whenever they brought like a really strong Scottish like princess, they were like, "What's going on? Let's get them all together." I mean, I remember the induction ceremonies and stuff like that. So it's always nice.
So just thought I'd put that out there.
Yeah.
Balance it out.
I appreciate
a bit.
it. And they're all on the float for Fantasmic opening again very soon.
Yeah. So, upcoming Princess and the Frog ride scheduled for 2024 in Disneyland and Magic Kingdom. She has things to say about this too.
Okay.
It's thrilling. People are amped and ready. I think it's awesome, particularly now, to be reinvigorating her story.
Yes.
So that's cool. So the ride's going to take place immediately after the Mardi Gras in the movie. So it's kind of like more movie, right?
Okay.
And she said that she would love for Disney to create Tiana's Place restaurant.
Right.
And this is what you've always been saying.
Forever.
She said, I've been looking forward to a Tiana's Place for years.
I love the culinary element.
I have dreams of them partnering with Café du Monde, which was Tiana's in the movie, and some real deal beignets, having some fantastic shrimp and grits, king cake during Mardi Gras season, and the occasional second line through the joint. Basically all things I love. So they actually involved her in the discussions for the plans for the ride. So I think that's really cool too.
Can't wait to see it.
Yes, definitely. Because I mean, she's got so much talent and experience. So I mean, it makes sense that they would pull her in to the discussions for sure. And I really do hope they add that restaurant because I don't know, sometimes I feel like the food at MK could be more.
What?
Some of it's really
Tiana
good.
touch.
I think we need that. Beignets at Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, everyone's psyched about beignets every time. Even trying to recreate them at home.
Absolutely. And moving on to September 7th, 2019, Innoventions East closes at Epcot. And I just think it's really interesting because so Innoventions East is where Mickey Gear's
there's so many things that have been.
Now it's now we have Connections Cafe and what is the name of the new store? Why am I forgetting? Is it Connections?
What do you mean? Yes, the Connections store. Yes,
yeah, okay.
Yeah, no, they're throwing a lot of connections at you. I don't blame you. You're like, what?
Right. So I just thought it was interesting to kind of talk about it and how the progress is happening. I mean, we do have some progress happening.
If it wasn't such a fair trade, we might like wax poetic about it. Other than having really enjoyed it, I think my favorite experience there was one of the last ones. Was it Glidden painting where you went in?
Yeah.
And you got to experience color with each other. And as a painter, that was really nice to have such a shared moment with
the Colortopia
and color.
Yeah.
I loved that.
Really cool. That was so they closed it in 2019. One of the things I wish we had done was that we didn't. Did one of our kids do it? Maybe I think they did. Was the where you could do the roller coaster simulator. You could like
I never did
create
that.
a roller. I think Cadmium did it.
It's amazing to look at the history of it, though. The thought that they inspire, like that. They had like a Nanzune or something, Nanozune, like talking about like micro stuff. Like they always were trying to do cool stuff.
I thought that was a place you go take a nap. I remember seeing people in Innovation East literally like dozing off in chairs.
Of course, that's what it was for.
Because of air conditioning.
Meaning for many. But I enjoyed
the kids go play. Yeah, older kids obviously.
I always felt like I was neglecting it.
Bill Nye,
and that's obviously why
Bill Nye the Science Guy and Kim Possible World Showcase Adventure was over there.
Okay.
So but
what? The World Showcase Adventures was farther. Okay, it doesn't matter. All right. Carry on.
Okay, but anyway, at least East is being like gotten so far and had openings for, you know, the cafe and the store, and we're kind of seeing it come together. And then I noticed recently when you go through the walkway when you're heading towards like Test Track and Guardians of the Galaxy area or Cosmic Rewind, they have all these like really nice benches and like platform sort of seating.
Yes.
And between the store and the cafe, it's almost like air conditioning is flowing through
because
that
of
walkway.
such shade and canopy.
Yeah.
The canopy is quite impressive in East.
Yeah. And
it's
so
matured.
I hope they do that on the opposite side too, because you know, when you're over in that area, there's just not enough shade. Sometimes people, especially in the middle of the summer, it is just too hot. So
there we go.
It's nice to see people resting in the shade.
No, I love that whole area now. I love the restaurant there.
Oh yeah?
Everything's good. Refillable
And
drinks.
the Starbucks is over there.
I was grouping it together.
It's huge.
Cafe
and it's the best place. If you guys need a charger, devices, head over there to Connections.
If I'd been
side.
successful the last two times I'd try, I'd maybe pitch it.
It was very crowded when we had gone to try for you to do that, but there's plenty. I mean,
there are. There shouldn't be any more. It would be an eyesore
everywhere the particular day we went.
Yes.
So anyway, just interesting little update on the progress since 2019. But it slowed down a bit, but we're moving forward. Right. And then September 8th, 1973 at Disneyland, the General Electric Carousel of Progress closes and it will be moved to Walt Disney World and be replaced by the Disneyland America Sings in 74. So basically, I just wanted to like kind of just talk about the fact that, you know, it was at the 1964 World's Fair, the Carousel of Progress. Then I went to Disneyland, and now the one currently in Florida is the same thing. That it came to Florida. Amazing. So it's not like they built one over here and over here and over here.
It's like
the same.
Not
just
in
the
a
building
museum.
Is different.
It's in public.
I just think that's wonderful. Like every time I see it, this is something that Walt totally influenced, and it's at Disney World, which he didn't get to influence in the same way. So he directly.
It really does bring,
It really brings
something
Walt into it,
right there.
That's great because on the sign it says Walt Disney's Carousel of Progress, and so there's a lot of homage to him in the sign, and then the videos that they play. So I love that.
I love it.
Really, really cool.
Okay.
So I just wanted to bring that
Thank
up
you.
as well. Also, and we gotta talk about that there's some new changes to the Carousel of Progress.
At the end.
Yeah, so I was gonna share them. If you guys want to wait, like close your ears, because I'm gonna share the Easter eggs and kind of what they mean.
Do it.
Okay, so Trish, the daughter, is wearing a collegiate sweater for Progress Tech School of Urban Planning, in reference to Progress City.
Yes,
so that's true. Different. And then the model city that Walt had in mind for Epcot, obviously. Both Tish and Jim are, I didn't even realize, I guess he does call them Tish and Jim. They're wearing slippers.
Okay.
Right? With reindeer characters from the Disney Christmas parade.
Did you see really? That? The dancing reindeer?
You missed it.
Oh, I'm there now.
Because that's like your favorite thing from the parade.
Yes. I literally wait for the dancing reindeer every year. I think it's the most novel thing that happens at Christmas.
And then Jim is wearing the ski hoodie that is actually a logo for the Mineral King ski resort that they totally had plans for, but they didn't actually get to build it.
Okay.
Because that was like right before Paul passed away. And then lastly, the father has this apron on that says "My food rocks,"
right?
And that's a reference to the Epcot attraction Food Rocks.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a deep go.
So those are all Easter eggs.
I love it.
Yeah, you can open yours if you don't want to hear them.
Yeah.
You can come back now. But so the dialogue obviously remains unchanged. I think there's more than this. Like I noticed.
It feels that way.
Well, yeah. Like this is just like Easter eggs. There's little things like a garland of hearts in one of the arrows, and then there's a garland, I think, of pumpkins or something like that, and yeah.
I was looking and I just was like, is that different? Is that different? But they tell you it's just the last room, but I don't know. It feels like there's subtle things that change.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you guys would know, and I'm sure you've had pictures or whatnot taken, so we can all check on that. But yeah, go check it out. Tell me what you think.
I love that.
In the comments for sure. And then lastly, to September 10th, 1932, the Silly Symphony short King Neptune is released. So this is the second Silly Symphony. This one's really, really interesting.
It's epic.
Yeah.
The coloring.
Right.
The art, like you could tell they just poured their life into it, trying to show so much movement, so much action.
Well, they
all the hijinks.
They had colorized this right away. It wasn't black and white first, so Flowers and Trees hadn't been that way, but this one was all ready to go color. So that was really interesting. This one actually influenced a lot.
That's what, yeah, please.
Yeah, so with the King Neptune, he's referenced so much. Like, they used the same image for Santa's Workshop in 33, and then the night before
the
Christmas.
Big red nose and beard, and
and then Father Noah as well.
Yeah.
So also Disney's King Neptune in the 36 Mickey Mouse short Through the Mirror.
Okay.
And the Cold-Blooded Penguin, a segment in Three Caballeros. Yeah. So they had taken from this short. I mean, there's so much in the short. You guys are just gonna have to go check it out. But I think most importantly is scenes from the final battle were used for The Little Mermaid, like influence. They use that for The Little Mermaid.
All right.
So
we can speak like totally to the Disney thing, but it's the overall approach in animation and visual style that definitely influenced a lot of other studios and artists going forward. And if you like, I would say all the way into our day with Cuphead, the video game. You look at this.
You actually thought I was watching Cuphead when I was watching
when she was rewatching, I was like, is that Cuphead? Are you playing Cuphead? And no, I'm watching this. And I was like, okay, because it really it is significantly in that style. It's just such a wonderful period piece of zany antics and cartoon violence.
I actually thought you guys have to go check this out and tell us in the comments. Like, I need you guys to go watch it and tell me how many things you think that people have gotten off of this cartoon, because I think there's even video games that have been influenced by it. Like, there's so many different things that could have been influenced by this particular cartoon, I think. I'd love to hear what you guys think in the comments. So definitely watch this one because it was 1932. So interesting.
Super fun.
Yeah, definitely. Check it out.
Kept roaring out of the roaring 20s and onto the silver screen.
Yeah. But that's it for this week. Thank you guys for following along with us. We're excited for next week and all the things happening. And good
week ahead. We'll tell you about it next week. And if you want to hear more about our week last week, check out the podcast on Apple and Spotify.
Definitely give us a comment, and if you're not following, we'd love for you guys to follow. We greatly appreciate it. Also, you can check us out on Instagram and see some of the fun pictures of you.
Years everywhere.
Yep, definitely. But you guys have a great week, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.